Successful Escapes, number 2. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. This is a series of my clients, my viewers, my readers, who have achieved successful escapes that they want to share with you so that you can perhaps resonate with your own success, or that you are encouraged to achieve that escape, perhaps providing you with some fortitude where you feel that perhaps you're struggling. The idea is to allow those who've utilized my services and my knowledge, and to get them to tell you, not me, but for them to tell you how it has worked for them. Next, we have TS, who is a long-term user of my work and somebody who I have spoken to on numerous occasions. A thoughtful individual who has not only utilized my work to assist her in her day-to-day life, but also to gain a greater understanding of narcissism and psychopathy, as she often asks me very thoughtful and involved questions about those subjects and my world. But enough from me. Let Tias tell you more about her experience.
Hello HG, hello everyone. My name is TS and I'm from Lancashire, England. I found HG's Narcissist blog roughly 4 years ago when I was searching for answers to explain the behaviour of a guy I met online. This person had been a friend to me when I had been going through a more difficult time in my life. We would chat for hours and hours online, and little by little I came to really rely on him. In fact, he was often the high point of my day. After around 12 months of daily communication, he disappeared. I felt like I had lost my right arm at that point. I was at a loss to understand what I had done to cause his disappearance, but a few months later he reappeared, and our communication resumed uninterrupted for a further 12 months, before he disappeared again. Only this time his absence was for longer, closer to 6 months. During this time, I replayed our conversations over and over, trying to figure out what had caused him to disappear without warning for a second time. Not a day went by without me thinking about it. The sense of loss was overwhelming. So when he again returned, the relief was also overwhelming. Again, the communications resumed as if he had never been away. I was offered a weak excuse for his disappearance, which I didn't believe, but I accepted, as the relief at having my friend and supporter back was more important to me than risking another disappearance through questioning too hard. Throughout the course of my ensnarement, we met twice. He disappeared and reappeared 3 times. He was often kind, charming, but then could turn on me in a heartbeat. Messages became nonsensical, accusations would come seemingly out of nowhere, and as communications became more erratic and confusing, I began looking for answers online. As I searched, I found HG's website and his blog at narcissist.com, and I began to read the various articles posted there. I began commenting a day or so later, and I remember being impressed that the blog author took the time to respond to my questions, and other readers also helped direct me to further articles and information that I needed. I put my online friend through the NARC detector consultation and received an analysis from HG confirming that I had been interacting with a mid-range type B elite narcissist. I then took the empath and trait detectors, which confirmed my empathic status and the traits that had left me most susceptible to ensnarement. Things were finally beginning to make sense, so I then raided the knowledge vault so that I could fully understand the narcissistic dynamic and my role within it. I was in no contact. There was no danger of me resuming the interaction with the online narcissist, but I did struggle with sadness and a real sense of loss for a long time afterwards. At one point, I was forced to consider the possibility that whilst I was no longer ensnared, I might also carry that sadness around with me indefinitely. It's at this point I really ought to have consulted with HG. If I had my time to do over again, I definitely would. But at the time, I was stubborn, nursing injured pride, and I was determined to work things out for myself. The addiction triple package helped me a lot, as did several of HG's books, most notably Exorcism. Exorcism demonstrates how well HG really does understand the empath, and it helped me a lot with the sadness. I kept reading, kept asking questions, and kept utilising the excellent packages available in the Knowledge Vault. I also benefited hugely from the kindness and support offered to me by empaths on the blog. Eventually, my sadness fell, in line with the increase in my understanding. I am fully healed, thanks to HG's comprehensive body of work. My learning has continued. I now have a real interest in the subjects of narcissism and psychopathy, and I think HG's YouTube channel is far more interesting and entertaining than Netflix. As my ET has fallen, I realise that the online narc was not my first ensnarement. I was an IPPS twice prior to that online ensnarement, and I also asked HG to carry out a narc detector on my mother, who also was confirmed as a mid-range narcissist. I have utilised HG's How to Handle a Parental Narcissist package from the Knowledge Vault, and I am now loosely in almost no contact with my mother. I am extremely grateful to HG for his making me welcome on his blog and for supplying me with the information necessary for me to gain closure, make a full recovery, and protect myself from ensnarement going forward. Something I hadn't expected, but which I have found equally valuable, if not more so, is the training I have received from HG has enabled me to help others. My daughter was caught by an online narcissist. Her experience was very similar to mine. I witnessed her addiction, I saw her emotional thinking, and was able to explain to her exactly what she was dealing with. Fortunately, HG had trained me well, so my explanation resonated. The logic of it broke through the clouds of emotional thinking, and she implemented no contact. That was around 18 months ago, and she was only 14 years old. I have also had the privilege of helping a very close friend who was ensnared for several years. He escaped his narcissist 12 months ago, and he, in turn, is helping a friend of his escape, all by using HG's videos, books, and consultations. This has been my revenge against the narcissist, arming myself with expert knowledge so that I can protect myself, but more importantly, so that I can protect others. I'm a saviour empath after all, and a saviour gotta save. My advice to anyone listening would be to continue learning. Continue listening to this channel, but also look to your defences by reading HG's books, having a good look at the material in the Knowledge Vault, and making use of the consultations available. Understand all aspects of narcissism, because you never know what type of narcissist might come calling or in what capacity. Please share the material on this channel so that others like us might find the help they need more easily. Thank you.
A comprehensive breakdown there of the experiences of Tiaz, and to boot, finds my YouTube work more entertaining than Netflix. Nice little bit of fuel there for the ultra. But you'll note how Tiaz not only found assistance in dealing with an online supporter and how that impacted upon her and she navigated her way through it utilizing my work, but thereafter has been able to gain recognition of the other narcissists in her life and go on to help other people, such as a daughter and a friend. That demonstrates the power of the information that is conveyed to you, and Tiaz's experiences are comprehensive in demonstrating to you the validity and empowerment that comes with a successful escape. Thank you for sharing that information, Tiaz, and there will be more for you to hear about shortly.